Okay, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen season 3 or so of Fear the Walking Dead or the last season of The Walking Dead, season 8, some spoilers coming up. Hey Walking Dead fans, this is going to be a video on the Fear the Walking Dead time jump. I've done some videos in the past and I kind of was leaning towards that Morgan, the crossover character, may somehow cross over with the Fear group at a previous time, not right after All Out War, right after season 8. And my thinking on that was the Fear cast would come closer to Morgan instead of Morgan going all the way to Texas. But recent photos from the Fear the Walking Dead season 4 kind of confirms that there will be a time jump in Fear the Walking Dead up to the point of the end of All Out War, and Morgan will just kind of walk right on over. So let's take a look at that and some of those details. I will be doing another video on the timeline where Fear the Walking Dead is and where The Walking Dead is, with a lot more detail that'll help kind of make sense of it all. Okay, real quick though, just to kind of get started on this one, let's go ahead and say, and it may blow your mind, but at the end of season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead, where the dam blew up, that happened on day 64 of the outbreak. So it's only been a couple of months since the beginning of Fear the Walking Dead. It sure does seem like it took a longer time, but it hasn't. But what's really going to blow your mind, if you look at the timeline of The Walking Dead, Rick wakes up from his coma on day 59. So that means just 5 days prior to the dam blowing up, Rick wakes up from his coma. So what's crazy is the dam then blew up the same day the CDC did, because the entire first season of The Walking Dead was only 5 days. On the 5th day after Rick woke up, they left the CDC and it exploded. So season 2 of The Walking Dead actually starts on day 65 of the outbreak, the day after the dam blows up in Fear the Walking Dead. And in all of that, we know in that 5 days, Rick met Morgan, and around day 60, Rick and Morgan parts ways. And we kind of know what happens to Morgan after that. He stays, he tries to kill his wife, his son Dwayne gets bit, but more on that in the timeline of both Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead. Let's look and see what those photos are, and then we'll see why it tells us that Morgan's going to survive season 8 of The Walking Dead and cross right over into Fear the Walking Dead. So when AMC announced that there would be a crossover, we thought it might be Abraham or some other characters maybe that was from Texas, but it ended up it's Morgan. So a lot of people, including myself, thought it would be before season 8 back in time, but we've got some clarification now with these photos. You can see Morgan with his staff in both photos. And this is the staff, of course, he has in season 8, the staff he got from Eastman. So now let's account for Morgan's whereabouts. He met Eastman. Eastman died. He left that area and he saw a sign for Terminus. Rick had changed it, I'm thinking a few days before that. So Morgan started tracking Rick's group and all the way to Terminus, and from Terminus to Father Gabriel's old church. And that's where Morgan found a map to Washington, D.C. He took that map and eventually hiked all the way to D.C. He met one of the wolves in the forest, and then he rescued Daryl and Aaron from the wolves camp trap thing. And that's when Daryl and Aaron took him back to Alexandria, and he met Rick about the time Rick executed that guy in front of everybody. The only way for Morgan to show up in Fear the Walking Dead is for Fear the Walking Dead to have a huge time jump to the start of season 4. Right now, The Walking Dead is approximately 610 days after the outbreak as of season 8, and Fear the Walking Dead is going to have to jump all the way up to that point. So a note here is, at the end of season 8, as in the comics, I predict that The Walking Dead will do possibly a full 2-year time jump from the end of season 8 to season 9. So when season 9 of The Walking Dead starts, we will be 2 years ahead of where Morgan crosses over into Fear the Walking Dead, because Fear the Walking Dead would have done a time jump all the way up to the point of the end of season 8 of The Walking Dead. So as I'll probably talk about in other videos, as you know, Gimple is not showrunner anymore of The Walking Dead, but he's still executive, as far as I know, executive producer of Fear the Walking Dead. But Fear the Walking Dead also changed out its showrunner So both shows have been shaken up just a little bit. We'll just have to see how it plays out. But a time jump in Fear the Walking Dead really gives a chance for the story to change and become better, the characters to reunite and the differences. And I really think Morgan will be in a present day timeline of Fear the Walking Dead, but we will find out what happened to all the characters through flashbacks, a whole lot of flashbacks. So it looks like Fear the Walking Dead is going to have a massive time jump, pretty much 550 days worth. That's about 1.5 years. It'll give the story a reboot, pretty much. Kind of a start over, almost. So definitely check out the rest of the videos and put all the pieces together. But we do think at this point that Morgan is going to cross right over from Season 8 into Fear the Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead will have a time jump of about 1.5 years. Morgan won't die in Season 8 and will cross right over. And predicting The Walking Dead then at the end of Season 8 will have a time jump either 1.5 to 2 years as the comics also did. So that's the latest news on that. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let's have a discussion. And as always, thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe for more dead stuff. And feel free to share. Thanks.